Buddy, how is everybody doing? Great to come in today. This is chapter 5. And welcome replay viewers. How are you guys doing? Great to see you. Sometimes I forget to do that. So great to see you. For some reason I don't see the people who are coming in. They weren't coming up. David McCormick, how are you doing? Welcome. Today is the philanthropist. I always have a hard time with that one. Great to see you in here. Vitally Ivanov, thank you so much for coming in. As you guys are coming into the room, allow me to introduce myself. Sandra Meadows, thank you so much for being here. My name is Ryan Roy. I'm an accountability coach. I help people get into action, and because I help people get into action, I have decided to review Grant Cardone's book, The 10X Rule. Just heard this audiobook. Awesome. So we're on chapter 5, and I'm going to be talking about it the entire month, chapter by chapter, right here at this time every single day. It is 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. Sandra Meadows, thank you so much for inviting your followers. And if you guys want to share this amazing book and doing the audiobook, I have the audiobook. I am doing it chapter by chapter and sharing it out with everybody. So I've done this week chapters 1 through 4. Today is chapter 5. So I'm super excited to share with you the lessons in chapter 5. And today's lesson in chapter 5 is: there is no shortage of success. Thank you for all of you who have come in. If I missed any of your guys' names, I apologize for that. Thanks for inviting it out with your followers. How you doing? 13 Rays of Light. David McCormick, thank you so much for letting me know that you are still here. Irina, thanks for sharing it out on Twitter. Jean Marie, thank you for being here. Great to see all of you. If there's anybody absolutely new to my scope right now, before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge you by name really quickly. Put a 1 in the box and let me know what your name is, so that I can acknowledge you by name. T-Man, what's going on? Let me know what your name is so that I can acknowledge you by name. And then we're going to move on to the lesson of the day. Let me know who's ready by putting a ready in the box. 1D Roar. Well, thank you so much for being here. Ready, Dr. Carrie Yazid. Great to see you in the room. I appreciate you coming in. Long time no see. Jean Marie's ready. Irina's ready. Brooke's ready. Tawaka, invited by Dr. Carrie Yazid. So thank you so much for being here. And guys, we're going to drop some knowledge. Click on Little Perry Guy if you're new to my room and you gain value out of this. Don't do it until you get value. And if you're in here, I kind of have like a heart rule. For me, it's as a broadcaster, the more I see those things click, the more excited I get, the more I give you because you're giving to me. So thank you so much for tapping the screen if you feel so inclined to do so. So I was going over my notes. Who's excited about the review of chapter 5? There is no shortage of success. Put a 1 in the box. There is no shortage of success. And I want you to know that chapter 3, I'm going to give you a real quick recap. Real quick, Jamila Corbett, how are you doing? Chapter 5 today. I saw you saw chapter 4. Chapter 3, the definition was, what is success? I'm doing amazing, Jamila. Success is important, and we talked about that 2 days ago. Success is your duty. Boom. We talked about that yesterday. But here's the big one today. Too many people think that they're limited in success and that there is a shortage of success. Today we're going to talk about there is absolutely no shortage of success, but why we believe that and why we need to shift our mindset. Really quickly, if nobody has the book and you gain some knowledge on this one today and are like, wow, that's a pretty interesting book, feel free to screenshot this and go and get your book at this bit.ly link. And then if you want to find out more about me at any point, that is my website, which is ryanroy.me. The bit.ly link will get you the most inexpensive that I found version of the book. I believe it's like $14.99. If you go to Grant's website, it's like $25. So that will get you there. Let's get started. Chapter 5. Let's go. Let me read with you from the very first line in the chapter, the very first paragraph. He says, There will never be a dearth of success because it is created by those who have no limits in terms of ideas, in terms of creativity, ingenuity, talent, intelligence, originality, persistence, and determination. And I know you guys in here, especially people like Jamila, especially people like Irina, Dr. Carrie Yazid, David, all of you have those qualities. Each and every single one of us has those qualities inside of us. Here's the thing. Success is created. Success is created. It's not acquired, people. Success is created. It's not acquired. It's not a diamond. It's not gold. It is something that you and I create or make. And he talks about this in the book. Miss Link. It's in my bio, or you can watch the replay, okay? Or I'll share it again at the end. Here's the thing. You want to know who creates all this negative stuff? You want to know who creates all this negative stuff? It's politicians. It's the media. Why do they want to create a shortage in our minds, people? Can anybody think of why they would want to create a shortage in our mind? And I love this because the political debates are going on. We have a presidential election coming up. Why do they want to create this shortage? It's the devil, Irina says. Control. Yes, you're absolutely right, Jamila. The wolf and the sheep. There you go. D, welcome to the broadcast. He says, politics and media create the concept of shortage so that you believe that you need the candidate, right? Because you will do better if you vote for him or her as opposed to the other person. Has anybody ever heard this in a debate or in the news from a politician? A great day to you, D. I will take better care of you because they don't. You know what? Taxes are too high and they created it, so I'm going to lower taxes, putting more money in your pocket. Oh, I'm going to make life easier for you. I'm going to give you stuff. I'm going to give you resources. I promise to make our educational system better for your kids. Guess what, people? The educational system hasn't changed in the last 100 years. And it's not going to change with the next presidential election. That's how the Fed started to run, right? It'll make it possible. I will make it possible for you to be more successful. How are you over there from your podium going to make me successful is my question. Then they emphasize the topics. Then they start emphasizing topics, right? Topics like the things that are important to their followers, and then they give you a sense that you can't do it on your own. Then they make you feel like there's a shortage or some scarcity of success and that you need them, therefore you vote for them, and then they get the empowerment and they get their success. And very seldom are they able to deliver on their false promises. People, there's no shortage of success. There's absolutely no shortage of success. Each and every single one of you have had success today. Tell me how you've been successful today. Let me one area of success. I'm going to tell you as you guys tell me where I've been successful today. I got a great night of sleep last night. Success. I got up early and I put in 4 miles. Success. I've taken care of 3 clients today. Success. This is why I don't watch TV. I don't watch it either. I watch sports. I'll leave it at that. I watch sports. All that garbage that we just talked about is brainwashing you into the things because they want you to believe that there's a shortage of success and you need them. But Grant talks about there's no shortage of success in his book, The 10X Rule. And thank you so much for the hearts. I thought I lost some of you, and I lost some of you, and that's great. Because those aren't the right people in the room. The 8 people that are still here are the right people in the room. You just ordered 4 of the last 5 women of Standard Conference. Success. I'm unfamiliar with it, but if it's going to plant ideas in your mind of how you can make you successful, kudos to you for taking time, energy, and effort to invest in yourself. Now go deep dive into that information. So, where was I? Otherwise, you may get what you want. The reason it's difficult to talk, so here's the thing. The reason it's difficult for people to talk about religion and politics, people, is because people feel that their information is the right information. So if I were to tell you that I'm a Christian and you're a Jew, you're going to try to convince me to be a Jew, and I'm going to try and convince you to be a Christian. I'll never do that, by the way. What I will do is share with you my experience and be open to your experience and respect. But the problem is, people think that there needs to be a right or wrong, that somebody needs to be right, that there needs to be a winner and somebody else needs to be the loser in this. So people don't have open dialogue. Friday payday success. People don't want to have open dialogue and respect the other's opinion. They're not open to listening and hearing and learning what other people are saying. They're only open to voicing what their stuff is. And when you voice and regurgitate and spit and spew on people and puke on people, all your stuff, it is a turnoff. But if people would take the time to listen, they could do it. I've never had a political conversation with somebody where I was offended. That's your belief. That's your truth based on your life experience. What I have had is them debate me that I'm wrong. And guess what? I'm never wrong. It's my experience based on my life experience. It's my experience. It's my truth for me. And if you can't respect that, that's because you believe there's a shortage somewhere. There's a shortage. There's a disconnect with me, with my own self. And for you to tell me that is a turn off for most people. And I'm not, yeah, right? You do choose to be offended. They choose to be offended. If I chose to be offended, that's my choice. Yes, sir. Seek understanding before seeking to be understood. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Bobby Monopoly, thank you so much for rejoining. I believe you were here yesterday. That's the biggest problem that fuels racism. People don't want to hear what other people have to say or respect the place where they came from, right? I can't sit there and understand what you've been through, and you probably can't understand what I've been through. And we've all been through stuff. Juliana Cottrere, I think that's how you say that. Thank you for joining. So why should I impose my thoughts and my beliefs and my experiences on you when I've never walked in your shoes? And that's why people start thinking there's a shortage. I can't do it. I can't do it. They can't do it. So what he says in here, and I love this, because I say this all the time. You know what? Let's just agree to disagree. I have my view, you have your view. He says it's extremely difficult for people to agree to disagree. People believe that they must be right. So I'm going to ask a question to the room right now, and I want you to put either right or rich. Would you guys rather be right, or would you guys rather be rich? Because at the end of the day, we can't be both. You could either be right or you could be rich, but we cannot be both. Dr. Carey, you want to be rich. You want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to be rich. So, thank you God. And nobody wants, I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. So, you can't be both, and it's your choice to be one or the other. And when I say rich, I don't mean monetarily. You already are rich, Dr. Carey Yazid. You already are rich. So think about this. You can be rich in relationships. If you're always the person who's right, you turn them off and people don't want to be in a relationship with you. You could be rich in your values. Like you're so true to yourself that you don't need to explain it to others. You can be rich in your openness to hearing other people's stuff. And you are all of those. But too many people put rich in dollar signs. I want to be rich in all of those areas. And if you're rich in all those areas and you listen to people enough, guess what? The riches will come if you set up the systems and follow the systems that are in place for you to become that. If you gain the wisdom to do that, to get wealth in all areas of your life, Can I get an amen, T-Man? Right? We're all rich already, but it's our perception that there's shortages of success. We are all successful already. We're all rich already, but there's too many people out there thinking there's a shortage of success. So, let's get back into it. We're all rich, right? We choose to be rich. So the question is, what is success to you? And we talked about this in chapter 1 and chapter 2. How do you define success? We all define successes differently. So, tell the world you are not. The world tell you are not if you don't have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. Irene, a Ferrari, right? You just have a Ferrari. So the Lamborghini is the next step. We all need more stuff. So I'm going to give you a few examples of where people didn't believe in the shortages of success, right? We got Warren Buffett out there, the guy who is like the financial guru of the last 60 years, 50, 60 years. He is not capped or limited because of somebody else's investment strategies, even though he was taught other investment strategies, right? Then we have people like the founders of Google that didn't stop the creation of Facebook. You know, Google, that was around way before Facebook, Google was, but somebody else wasn't limited by, oh, somebody's already done that. Nor did 2 decades of Microsoft having the home computer business, they dominated the market, but did it stop Steve Jobs from creating the iPod, which turned into the iPhone, which you and I are talking through right now, which then went on to become the iPad, which I'm referencing right now? Did those things, did the success mindset stop those people? Amazon, not limited by eBay. Absolutely. Amazon was not limited by eBay. And I'm scrolling through because I have some exercises, some questions here at the end. So we have all kinds of examples, right? I wish you could get a share in Apple stock. You could go buy Apple stock right now. You just wish you could have gotten it 20 years ago, right? So society and the media, politicians, whomever, beat us down with this every single day. And the majority of people watch this crap, right? I know the people in my room probably don't watch a lot of this. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate, David. Is this. They hit us down with shortages of jobs. There are shortages of money. There are shortages of opportunities. They even say there's a shortage of time. How the heck is there a shortage of time? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. How can they tell you there's a shortage of time? And why are you telling yourself there's not enough hours in a day? I have the same 24 hours as Warren Buffett. You have the same 24 hours as Steve Jobs did. You have the same 24 hours of anybody who's been uber successful. So how are you utilizing your time is the question. There's no shortage of time. There's no shortage of success. There's no limited beliefs, but there are because society is telling us that there is, and we hear that on and on and on and on again, and guess what? People believe it, and then people repeat it. We're like robots out there. People start thinking for yourself. There's a shortage of time. I didn't have enough time in the day. Well, I had 24 hours, and I'll tell you, I started crushing it at 6 o'clock this morning. It's noon, and I've created more help today than most people will in a month. Why? Because I've serviced my clients. I've helped myself. I've made a connection with my son. I made a connection with my wife. I sat there and did all that in the first 6 hours of my day after an 8 hour of sleep, right? I got a full 8 hours of sleep. But it's what I do at the time when I'm up that makes the difference. And too many people are wasting their time in front of a television. Reading crap. Sorry, man, I'm getting into this because it frustrates me when people are like, I don't know how to manage my time. Let me go watch 2 hours of TV. I'm going to watch 10 minutes, and it turns into 2 hours. Or they get on social media, and they start watching video upon video upon video. I tell people all the time, people, I would love to watch your videos. Keep your Facebook Lives to 3 or 4 minutes. If you don't have a crowd, nobody going to show up. I'm not going to wait 45 minutes to watch your Facebook Live. I'm not going to do it. The reason I'm here and I indulge in you guys because you're the 13 people who are sitting here investing your time, but I think you're getting something. Are you getting something from today's broadcast? Put a 1 in the box. If you're getting knowledge from today's broadcast, put a 1 in the box because it's giving you perspective. It's giving you thought. It's making you change your mindset. There is no shortage of success, people. We're just wasting and we're not recognizing it. It's 129 people. Well, it's 11 people. 129 people came through the room, came and went. I focus on the people who are here, not at this point, the 120 people who left, right? So let's do this. Thank you. Can't stop listening. I love you, Irina. So how have we created shortages? I just explained it. It is the media, the politicians, they manipulate us. You know what there's a shortage of, people? There's a shortage of action. There's a shortage of education and self-education. There's things out there called libraries that are for free. Well, they're not free. The taxpayers paid for them, but you're a taxpayer. There is a shortage, here's the thing, of believability in oneself. There is a shortage of believability in oneself because you've been listening to the crap that the politicians tell you, that the newspapers tell you, that social media tells you. They're telling you that you're not good enough, that you need assistance, and boom. You know what you need? You need to believe in yourself. I believe in you. I bet you all the people in this room right now, if you guys aren't following each other, you're doing yourselves an injustice because all the people who are sticking around for this message have the right mindset. I'm getting value here, and everyone in this room should be following each other because you guys know what it takes, and you will support each other. You will uplift each other as I do to my clients, as I do on my broadcast, because I believe in each and every single one of you, and each and every single one of you with the belief in yourself and somebody else believing in you and some results and some success, some small successes that turn into bigger successes. Next thing you know, you look back and you say, damn, I'm successful because you put in the time, energy, and effort, and you believed it could happen. So the shortage myth. Have you ever heard of somebody saying somebody hit it big? Somebody hit it big. Like somebody got a big payday and somebody goes, man, they're not worth that. I had this conversation years ago. Anybody know who LeBron James is? When LeBron James signed on with the Miami Heat and signed on for a $100 million deal, I was surrounded by people saying, how can they pay one person that much money? And I'm like, pfft. He's worth every dime of it. Because if somebody paid him that much money, they're leveraging him and his talents. And the owner who decided to pay him that is making 5 times that amount of money. And you know what? LeBron James's duty, which we talked about yesterday, to become successful, it's his duty to get compensated for him to be able to get the guy who employs him 5 times that money. So if he paid him $100 million to show up on a basketball court and be a great citizen and be a great role model so that people fill the seats and he could sell those James jerseys, that guy made $500 million off of LeBron James. Guaranteed. So if LeBron James took a $50,000 salary and somebody made $500 million off of him, it's LeBron James' fault for not taking the money he deserves for being the person he is, because he built success and his success is building success for somebody else. So it bothers me when people look down on somebody else's success. It really bothers me. Does it bother you when somebody looks down on somebody else's success? Let me ask you. Hey, Reggie, thanks for inviting your followers. And David, thanks for coming back in. You probably did a heart reset, man. I love you. I appreciate you for that. So when someone public gets a huge raise and says, why do people get paid so much? So all shortages, guys, all shortages are, yeah, it bothers me. It bothers me. Celebrate other people's success, and people will celebrate your success. Celebrate other people's success, and people will celebrate your success. You have tremendous value. Tremendous value. And we do question sometimes, where is my value? And I had this on a coaching call earlier. You got to get paid for your knowledge. You provide tremendous value. I love it when people have success because I'm like, that's possible. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So Think about Burger King and Wendy's. Have you guys ever seen a Burger King? Have any of you heard of Burger King or a Wendy's? Put a 1 in the box. Put a 1 in the box. See, there's no shortage of success, and people do this. Yeah, right? We've all heard of Burger King and Wendy's. But which one came first? McDonald's. And I love this when somebody says, man, there's so many coaches out there. Why are you going to become a coach? I go, somebody would have told that to Burger King or Wendy's, because there's like 13,000 McDonald's in the world, but there's probably still several thousand Burger Kings and Wendy's, and they're making a ton of money, and they're serving a need. People are hungry, and they want fast food and food fast. Therefore, somebody opened a burger joint. Would it deter me to open a burger joint if that was my dream? Have it your way. Would it deter me if my dream was to open a burger joint because I could make the best blue cheese bacon burgers in the world and people would come to my restaurant because there's McDonald's, Wendy's, and all this other stuff? No, I'm going to be the best damn burger joint there could be. I'm going to be the best damn coach I can be. I don't worry about the competition, and he talks about this later in the book. I worry about dominating me and what I can do in my market. Hear about that. I'm not worried about my competition. I'm worried about being the best possible Ryan Roy accountability coach I can be so that my people get the results. Because if I'm comparing myself to somebody else, they may be on a 10-year journey. I'm 4 years in. What can we do? What can I do? I don't have the 6 extra years experience that they have, but I guarantee you I can help people who have 4 less years experience than me, or 3 less years experience, or 2 less years experience. Why? Because I have that experience. So I share my knowledge the best I can, because there is no shortage of success. Boom. Can I get an amen from my peeps? So we must get rid of the idea that the notion of success can be restricted in any way. There is no shortage of it. Thank you so much, Don. I really do appreciate that. I don't know if you're following me or not. Throw up some emojis really quick. I want people to follow you, because there's amazing people in here, and I want to follow you also. There's something about your energy in this. I don't know what it is. I want to watch your scopes. Thank you. Thanks, Don. Appreciate you putting that up there. View profile. Let me see where you are. Very new to Periscope. I appreciate it. I'm going to follow you right now, which I just done. You're new. And I'll tell you about something I do on Tuesday nights in a second here, Don, that you might be interested in. And now I can't get it off the screen because I have a text coming through. Thank you so much. Guys, follow Don. He gets it. He's engaging. All of you are engaging. And also, Dr. Carrie, Yazid, and Irina, I want you guys to put up some emojis and people follow you also. Follow these people. Great people in the room. Success for one, and we talked about this, success for one is success for all. And this is what he means by that, and he ends on this. Success for one is success for all. It's not like, oh, they had the success, now I can't attain it. The mindset should be this, guys. When you watch somebody, hello, Buffy, great to see you, long time no see. When somebody has success, watch them and say, wow, it is possible. I can do that. When somebody has success, now you can say, wow, that is possible. I can do that. Because success for one person is success for all. Because if someone could attain it, and I'll end with this story. Years ago, nobody had ever run a 4-minute mile. Nobody believed it could be true. Does anybody know this story? Put a 1 in the box if you know this story. If not, I'm still going to share it. But if you know the story, put a 1 in the box, right? Years ago, a human had never run a 4-minute mile. When the guy finally did it and broke the 4-minute barrier, he ran it in 3:58 and change or something like that. Guess what happened? Within the next week, because people knew that it could be done, 23 other people in the world had the same exact success. Success for one is success for all. And all of us right now know it's possible for a human to run that. Awesome, like minds. So all of us know that it's possible because one person didn't put a shortage or a limit on their success. So what he has is, and I'm going to ask you guys to engage here for a second. Write down an example of shortages of success that you've seen. Put one shortage of success that you may have seen. Nello, thanks for coming in. Somebody else came in. I appreciate you popping in. What are some shortages of success? See, I don't see shortages of success. I didn't even know how to answer this in my notes. I don't see shortages. All of you are successful. I was at an event one time, and a guy says, no matter what, we must recognize our successes, even when things look bad, right? And I didn't understand it either. And the speaker said this. The speaker said this. He goes, even in my roughest times, and it's kind of funny the way he said it. He goes, I'd get up and celebrate my successes of the day, even though everything in my life was crap. And he goes, it got to the point where I would say, oh my God, look at that well-formed bowel movement. Because maybe he ate right, which I cracked up at. But if things look bad, you still have successes within your day. We have to step into ourselves. We must appreciate the small things to appreciate the big things. So if you guys have had successes today, you have to appreciate them and acknowledge them. And I do this all the time with my clients. My first question at every coaching call is, tell me your successes since the last time we talked. Just coming in, Claudia. Great having you in here. Did you sign up for your coaching session? How are so-called shortages actually created? So how are so-called shortages actually created? We discovered this. We talked about this. It's the media. It's the politics. It's the naysayers. It's the people who don't want you to have success because they're scared you may grow away. And there exists no shortages of success, but what is there truly a shortage of? I know you did. I'm excited about that. But what is there truly a shortage of? And there is a shortage of, guys, believability in ourselves. There's a shortage of taking massive action in your life so that you can attain the successes that you desire. And there's a shortage of faith, right? If you want to go that route. So that's my broadcast for today. People don't know how to be humble and kind. You're right. Attitude of gratitude and belief in self with a larger God. And however people define that, right? I am open to whatever some people call it the universe, some people call it Allah, some people call it Buddha, some people call it Jesus, some people, whatever it is, whatever that is. So I want to make an offer to everybody because I am a coach and I want people in the right mindset and I want people to move forward and take enough action so that they could have the successes they desire in life. I help people formulate, get clarity on their goals, and then break it down in such an easy way that they could have the success they desire as long as they're consistent in doing it. As an accountability coach, I have a system that helps them do that. So, if you want the book and want to do this with me each and every single day, go to the bit.ly link. But if you want some help, if you want some clarity, if you want to connect, I offer a free complimentary coaching session at ryanroy.me. It's at the top of the website page. It says, complimentary coaching session, click here. If you guys have been compelled, pulled, or want some clarity and would like to have a complimentary coaching session with me, feel free to go to the website. Now, I want to acknowledge those of you who have stuck around all this time with me. I want to acknowledge you who are still in the room. I know you did. We're on Monday. David McCormick, thanks for pumping out all those hearts and always supporting me at a high level, dude. I love you. I'm not even joking. I love how you show up every single day. Miss Irina, you also do the same thing with me. You know you and I have been back and forth. Thank you so much. John Horse cracks me up because it's Terry. Terry, thank you so much for being here. Regina, thank you. DLK. By the way, Terry, I highly suggest you put your name in there. People love to hear your name and people want to acknowledge you by name. I know I'm one of the few broadcasters who do what I'm doing right now, but we want to know your name. I want to connect with you. I want to know who you are. And it's hard if I'm calling you John Horse and one day you're like, hey, I'm Terry. You want to be called by your name, man. Your name was God-given. Your parents gave it to you, and it's important. Your name is special. So I'd love to know and let other people know what your name is. Brenda Williams, thank you so much for being here. Roman Gonzalez, thank you for being here. Bella, Buffy, Sean, thank you for being here. Wilda Westbrook and Jean, thank you for being here. There's a couple other people who are on the web. I want to acknowledge you also. And if any of you are new to my broadcast, new to me, got value out of this, I will encourage you, if you got value out of it, maybe your followers would. You're welcome. If your followers would, it's never too late to share it out, so you can do that now if you choose to do so. But I just want to acknowledge you. Your time is your most precious asset on the planet. You chose to spend it with me here today, and for that, I thank you. So have an amazing day, guys. The weekend, I'm not going to be doing this, but Monday through Friday, reviewing Grant Cardone. Go out and get the book, and we could review it together. I believe that David has it because he already knew the title and was ready to go. I hope I did a good job of covering it. Dang Fo Dime back again. We'll watch the replay. Perfect, Claudia. Let's celebrate Friday. For some people, it's payday. It's the weekend. For me, it's the start of getting to spend exponential time with my son, as he is my most important job on this planet, is raising him, and we have a lot of great things planned for the weekend. So everybody have an amazing day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.